The government has strongly rebutted comments from a visiting UN official on human rights. He said several policies in Singapore have resulted in further marginalisation of certain ethnic groups.
It was a busy week for Mr Muigai as he met a cross-section of Singaporeans. They included government officials, religious leaders and civil society groups. Overall, it was a positive assessment of Singapore. Given Singapore's multiracial society and its past brushes with ethnic tension, Mr Muigai acknowledged the many policies in place to ensure racial and religious tolerance.
They demonstrate that the government is committed to confronting these challenges in an open manner.
But he pointed to some concerns. Mr Muigai said the performance of Malay students remained below the national average, even though the community has made progress.
I would like to suggest that specific measures be taken to ensure that the educational interests of Malay students are protected and promoted.
But the Foreign Ministry shot down the suggestion for affirmative action. It said in his meeting with the Islamic Religious Council of Singapore, Mr Muigai was told Malays disapproved of such a policy as the community has a deep sense of pride in its ability to achieve progress under a system of meritocracy. Mr Muigai had also referred to restrictions in Singapore laws such as the Penal Code and Sedition Act and how these may restrict public discussion on sensitive issues such as race and religion.
I therefore believe the time is ripe for the authorities to review any legislative restrictions that may exist in the statute books.
The ministry emphatically disagreed with this, saying such issues will always be sensitive to Singapore. It added a balance must be struck between free expression and preservation of race and religious harmony. It is for the government to determine this balance, and it's the government and not the UN that bears the responsibility should things go wrong.
Now, this is the first time that a UN expert on human rights is in Singapore to conduct a first-hand study of the country. The study is also meant to identify good practices that can be shared with other countries. Now, a detailed analysis of the Singapore report will be presented to the Human Rights Council in June next year.